Time is money, and you've wasted both, was the first sentence that kept running through the mind of Sally, a waitress who was tired of working at the roadside diner. The phrase appeared as she faced a difficult dilemma, helping an old woman who needed help. However, after her act of kindness, Sally had to face a bitter reality. The consequences of this decision came in the form of anger from her manager. Everything seemed bleak until a new opportunity unexpectedly appeared and changed her life in an instant. Hello everyone, welcome to Stories to Heal. Today I am happy to share a new story with you. Don't forget to subscribe and watch to the end. This day was like any other day at the roadside diner, a roadside diner that is already famous among the truck drivers who pass through the highway. The morning air felt cool, and the sound of the door creaking seemed to signal the start of a new routine for the employees there. One of them was Sally, a waitress who had worked there for a long time. Although she was young, Sally had exceptional skills in serving customers, especially the truck drivers who always stopped by to fill their stomachs and talk a little. They came from all over, bringing long stories of their tiring travels. Sally was known for her kindness and patience. Whenever a trucker sat down at the table, she knew how to make small talk, listen to stories about their families, their travels, or just share a laugh. This not only made the drivers feel appreciated, but it also made the store a pleasant place to stop and take a break from the hustle and bustle of a long drive. But behind the friendly atmosphere of the store, big changes were taking place. Mr. Peters, the aging owner of the store, had finally announced that he was retiring and handing over the reins to his nephew, Mark. Mark, who had just graduated from business school in the big city, came with big ambitions to modernize the shop. He wanted to make it more efficient, faster, and, of course, more profitable. Sally and her friends who worked in the store noticed a significant difference. Mark no longer saw customers as individuals to be treated with undivided attention, but as numbers that filled seats and brought in profits. Any minute spent talking or joking with customers was considered wasted time. This was in stark contrast to Mr. Peters' principles, which always put the comfort and happiness of the customer first. One day, Mark called Sally into his office. He firmly stated that Sally was the slowest waitress on the entire staff. He criticized Sally for talking too much to customers, especially the old truck drivers who often stopped by the store. "Every minute you waste listening to their stories is time lost," Mark said in a high tone. He gave Sally a stern warning, even threatening to fire her if she did not adopt a more efficient way of working. Sally was disappointed and confused. She felt that there was nothing wrong with serving customers sincerely, as Mr. Peters had taught her. To her, taking the time to listen to the customer's story was humane and important, but she knew that in order to survive in this place, she had to choose: follow Mark's orders or stay true to her principles. Not long after the meeting, an unexpected incident occurred. An elderly woman who looked confused walked into the store. She approached Sally and asked for help checking the air pressure in her car tires. "My son usually does this, but he's on a long trip, and I forgot to tell him my tire was about to go flat," the woman said anxiously. Sally saw the desperation in the woman's eyes and felt compelled to help. Without hesitation, Sally led the woman to a corner store that sold a variety of automotive supplies. When they reached the shelves full of tools, the woman started looking for her purse, but couldn't find it. "Oh, I guess I left it at home," the woman said, her face growing increasingly anxious. Sally could sense that the woman really needed help, especially since the woman's trip could be dangerous if the tire pressure wasn't checked soon. Sally, feeling compassion for the woman, decided to take action. "Don't worry," she said with a smile. "I'll give you this tire pressure gauge for free today, and I'll make sure one of our employees checks your tires before you leave." The woman looked genuinely touched, her face beaming. "Thank you so much, kid. You're such a nice person. When I see Mr. Peters, I'll tell him how nice you are here," she said before leaving, taking the tire gauge with her. However, Sally's act of kindness did not go over well with Mark. A few moments later, Mark came in with an angry expression on his face. "Sally, I warned you. Not only did you waste your time with this customer, but you gave away free stuff. Are we running a charity here? Mark said in a harsh tone. I'm going to dock your pay to cover the cost of this gauge. Worse, you're fired, he said without giving Sally a chance to explain. Sally was speechless, her heart and mind in turmoil. What she had just done had to end with her being fired. She felt devastated. But on the other hand, she knew that what she had done was right, helping people in need without asking for anything in return. Even though she was losing her job, Sally felt that kindness was more important than money. But an unexpected twist soon came. Just 30 minutes after Sally was fired, Mr. Peters walked into the store. He looked confused as he searched for Sally. When Mark told him that Sally had just been fired for being inefficient, Mr. Peters' face turned pale. Mark went on to explain how Sally always talked too much to customers and neglected efficiency. Soon after, the phone rang in the restaurant. One of the young waiters answered and announced that there was a woman who needed to speak to Mr. Peters urgently. Mr. Peters picked up the phone and listened intently. His face turned from confusion to surprise. "This is my wife," Mr. Peters said in a hoarse voice after hanging up. "She just spoke to the old lady Sally helped earlier." Apparently, the lady was very impressed with Sally's attitude. She said that Sally was an example of good service and that she was very grateful. Mr. Peters stared at Mark. "You just fired the man who embodied the spirit of what built this place," he said disappointedly. Mr. Peters quickly made an important decision. He called Sally and asked her to come back to the store. When Sally arrived, Mr. Peters greeted her with a heartfelt apology. "Sally, I'm so sorry. Mark is no longer working here, and I want you to take his place," he said. Sally was shocked and moved. She had no idea that such a small act of sincerity could make such a difference in her life. Sally eventually decided to take over the store. With a warmer, more caring approach, she began to slowly transform the shop back into what it had once been, a place where truckers felt valued, accepted, and welcomed. Although the changes didn't happen as quickly as some would have liked, the shop began to thrive again, with returning customers bringing stories and laughter that refreshed the atmosphere. Sally realized that running a business was not just about efficiency or financial gain, but rather about creating a space where people could connect, share, and feel accepted. Sally's story is a powerful reminder that kindness and caring for others can open doors to opportunities we never thought possible. Even though our world is becoming increasingly fast-paced and efficiency-oriented, there are times when simple and small things like saying hello to an elderly truck driver or lending a helping hand to someone in need can change the course of someone's life in a big way. Sometimes a small act done with sincerity and good intentions, even if it seems simple, can have a big impact that not only changes the life of the individual, but can also inspire many others around them. Like this story? Click like and subscribe for more stories, and share your thoughts with a word in the comment section.